Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I am Kirk Baster, the publisher of Progressive Railroading. I'd like to welcome you as we recognize Progressive Railroading's 2021 Rising Stars. We're very proud of the Rising Stars event and its importance in the industry. This is the 9th year of the Rising Stars program and the 8th celebration event, and it keeps evolving and growing each and every year. I'd like to take this time to thank the sponsors of today's event. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to continue recognizing the rising stars of today who will be the leaders of tomorrow. We greatly appreciate their support of this very important industry program. Specifically, our sponsors are our platinum sponsor, Siemens Mobility, our gold sponsors, BNSF Railway, CN, CSX, Pioneer Lines, Rail Pros, Union Pacific, and Watco. Our silver sponsors, Florida East Coast Railway, Genesee Valley Transportation, and New Orleans Public Belt Railroad. And our bronze sponsors, Archer Western Construction, Edna Rice Executive Recruiters, New Jersey Transit, R.J. Corman Railroad Group, and Ty Ginsberg and Associates. At this time, we'd like to share a brief video from Siemens Mobility, today's platinum sponsor.
Siemens Mobility is a leader in transportation sector, helping its customers to keep the world in motion. The Siemens Mobility plant in Alpharetta, Georgia is the headquarters for the traction drives. Kim is the manager of the supply chain department, managing a team of 20 direct and indirect employees. Kim is a very thoughtful leader, is well liked and respected by everyone. While facing any challenge, she always has a smile on her face with the attitude of bring it on. To give an example, at the height of the COVID in April last year, she organized our facility to be the hub to distribute the much needed PPE to the employees and the facilities around the country. This was on top of the challenges we are facing due to key suppliers being shut down and being heavily impacted by the COVID. Under her leadership, the team was able to successfully package and distribute the PPE within days of the factory receiving them. We are grateful for leaders like Kim who are helping us move forward into the future. Congratulations, Kim, for being our rising star.
And once again, thank you to Siemens for being our platinum sponsor today. I'd now like to acknowledge the incredible group of award winners we have this year. We received over 200 submissions, which is among the highest we've ever received, all from very qualified candidates, which made the process of selecting the winners a very difficult one. As you'll hear shortly, this group of rising stars are already doing amazing things that are not only contributing to the success of their organizations, but shaping the rail industry as a whole. They are truly a remarkable group. I'd also like to thank our editorial team represented today by Progressive Railroading editor Pat Foran and senior associate editor Julie Snyder, who not only spearheaded the Rising Stars submission and review process, but also did a fantastic job at developing the profiles of the winners that are currently posted on our website, progressiverailroading.com, and will also appear in the September issue of Progressive Railroading magazine. Now, I'd like to hand it over to Julie and Pat to begin the award presentations.
Thank you, Kirk. The first rising star we recognize today is Harrison Chase Armstrong. He is Vice President of Commercial Development at R.J. Corman Railroad Group, where he started as a business development manager and was eventually promoted to corporate account manager, assistant VP, and now VP of Commercial Development. Like so many railroaders, Chase followed a family member into the rail industry. In his current role, he oversees commercial efforts for R.J. Corman Railroad Services, including client relations, pipeline development, and budget management. Scott Banwart, a 2018 Rising Star and the person who nominated Chase for this year's award, says that Chase is well respected industry-wide and provides a valuable skill set of bringing railroaders from different locations and different experiences together. In his spare time, Chase enjoys spending time with his family, and he's an avid Cincinnati Reds baseball fan. Congratulations to Chase Armstrong.
Thank you, Julie, for the nice words. First, I'd like to thank Kirk and Progressive Railroading for putting this all together. I'm truly honored to receive this award. Um, I asked the original Rising Star, RJ Corman, Nick Edlin, how he put together a list of people to thank, and he said he looked around the room and made sure he didn't miss anybody. Unfortunately, we don't have that advantage today. So if I miss anybody, I truly apologize. Some people that I want to highlight, and one advantage to being in a commercial role is you really get to know people throughout the industry. That includes competitors, your clients, and your coworkers. First and foremost, obviously my family. My wife's my rock. She put up with a lot of late night calls when derailments hit, all the traveling and missed events. My kids are amazing. Hudson and Duke Armstrong, who learned at a young age that when daddy's phone rings, that they have to be quiet. Want to highlight my parents. My mother and father came from a family business. I've learned at a young age the importance of relationships in business. I want to thank them for dragging me to association meetings as a child. I want to thank a couple associations. RIMSA, I've had the pleasure of being on the RIMSA board for 4 years. Thank the chairman, Mr. Jay Gowan, the RIMSA members, and the board members and the staff there. Jim Hansen, who's well known in the industry, always been a mentor of mine, and always willing to listen and advise when needed. I want to thank the clients of RJ Corman, especially Scott Banwart, who nominated me for this award. One of our big rocks at RJ Corman is that customer is number one. Getting to know our clients, it makes work fun. Makes us look forward to getting up every morning and going to work. I want to thank my RJ Corman family. I want to thank Rick Corman, who's no longer with us, but was a true titan in the industry. Without him, obviously, none of this would be possible. I want to thank my commercial team. Justin Broyles gave me my first opportunity at RJ Corman. I'll forever be thankful for that. I want to thank John Tudor, who's my right-hand man, who does all the work that I get all the credit for. I want to thank the company heads at RJ Corman, Nick Edlin, Rich Barcelona, Nick Spalding, and John Langston. I want to thank the CEO of RJ Corman, Ed Quinn. He's a true mentor and advisor. His door is always open, and for that, I'm appreciative. I want to thank the board of directors and the trust at RJ Corman. The direction the company's heading is wonderful, and it looks bright for the future. I want to thank Rick Johnson, who was an early mentor of mine at RJ Corman. He would spend time with a guy that was a salesman and teach him a little the ins and out of track engineering. For that, I'll always be appreciative. I thank the late great Nathan Henderson, the guys whose shadow I'll always be in. He included me, taught me, and truly introduced me into railroad sales. And last and most important, I want to thank the reason that I'm winning this award today, the groundsmen, the laborers, and the operators at RJ Corman. These are the guys that give me a product that's worth selling, and for that I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Thanks, Chase, and congratulations. Next, we recognize Rising Star Troy Banks. Troy is manager of the Huey P. Long Bridge and Facilities for the New Orleans Public Belt Railroad, where he has worked for the past 16 years. In his role, he manages 17 bridge employees and 6 NOPB facilities, and is responsible for inspecting and maintaining the Huey P. Long Bridge, one of America's longest steel bridges. NOPB colleague Tamika Watson Bryant, who nominated Troy for the Rising Stars Award, says Troy's leadership, safety mindset, and dependability are the traits that make him a change maker in the railroad industry. As a key member of the NOPB senior management staff, Troy manages a very efficient department by leading by example, she says. Troy is a second-generation railroader. His dad retired from the NOPB after a 33-year career in the business. In his spare time, Troy enjoys spending time with family and friends, and of course, attending New Orleans Saints football games. Congratulations, Troy Banks.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. First of all, I would like to thank Progressive Railroad for hosting this event and also giving me the opportunity to participate in it. Secondly, I would like to thank New Orleans Public Belt executive team for nominating me for this award. It's greatly appreciated. And also all my family and friends, my wife, my kids, and all of the people that's near and dear to me. I wouldn't be here right now without them. Also, my father, who actually introduced me to the railroad. I would like to say I've probably been around the railroad since 5 years old. I remember going out on derailments, just happened to sit in a truck while my dad was out there because I didn't have a babysitter. You know, I just had to sit there and watch him fix tracks and pick up cars. So I learned a lot just from observing. I would like to also thank my executive, Mr. Carl Croker, for being a great mentor to me. Always have an open door policy, no matter what it is, personal or business related. Always been there for me. Always was there for a listening ear. Also, our newly general manager, Mr. Mike Stolzman, for seeing something in me that I can honestly say I didn't actually see in myself, but he really pushed me and also challenged me in different aspects of my railroad career. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank the New Orleans Public Belt Railroad and all our partners. I really appreciate the opportunity and everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Troy, and congratulations. Next, we recognize rising star Stephanie Bizzata. Stephanie is Principal Consultant of IT for Union Pacific Railroad, where she imagines, collaborates, and builds on UP's core enterprise technology platforms. As a Principal Product Manager, Stephanie designs complex technical features, leads onshore and offshore development teams, interacts with stakeholders and internal customers, and researches technologies and solutions. UP Executive Vice President Beth Whited, who nominated Stephanie for the Rising Stars Award, says Stephanie combines a collaborative leadership approach with her deep technical and business knowledge to help drive the technology platforms that enable UP to compete as the most efficient logistics provider. She joined UP as a college intern in telecom engineering and became a full-time employee after graduation. She got into railroading thanks to the suggestion of a college classmate who was interning at UP at the time and recommended that she apply. Her initial response was, "The railroad? Really? What would I do there?" Thankfully, she did apply, and that internship turned into what she says has been an exciting and fulfilling career. Congratulations, Stephanie. Stephanie, I think you need to unmute.
So sorry, clicked the button and it didn't take. There we go. Thank you, Julie. I'm very honored and excited to be here today. It truly is an incredible honor to be recognized here among so many talented leaders in the rail industry. My grandfather was a locomotive engineer for Union Pacific, and my great-grandfather was actually the General Commissioner of Land and Tax when he retired from Union Pacific many, many years ago. I know both of them would be pretty proud seeing me here today. As a technologist at heart, I'm especially honored to be included among this inspiring group of leaders because I think it really speaks volumes about the role technology is playing in shaping the future of our industry. It's been a very exciting journey contributing to and leading paradigm-changing tech initiatives at Union Pacific over the years. And I'm just truly excited about how this technology will continue to shape the future of our industry as we move forward. I really want to say thank you to all of my supportive colleagues and the amazing technology team we have at Union Pacific behind the scenes, including the leadership team at Union Pacific for really supporting me. Just too many wonderful people to name by name, but I'm truly grateful for all of the support. Also, Progressive Railroading, thank you very much for putting on this event and taking the time to recognize this group of leaders. Of course, I want to say thank you to my husband and my family for their support. I couldn't pursue my interests and dreams in my career without their support, so I'm very thankful for that. I do hope that moments like this really inspire my 3 young girls and other women to push themselves and consider perhaps what might be non-traditional fields when they are carving out their own paths in life. So thank you again.
Thanks, Stephanie, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next honoree is Christopher Bennett, Director of the Public Safety Coordination Center at CSX. He is responsible for regulatory and public communications and coordination of internal and external stakeholders regarding emergency and non-emergency incidents. Christopher worked as a police officer in Indiana for 6 years prior to joining the CSX Police Department as a special agent. He was promoted to Director of the Public Safety Coordination Center in 2017. CSX EVP Diana Sorfleet, who nominated Christopher as a rising star, says his leadership has made a significant impact on reducing crime on the CSX network. She says, his efforts to develop and train employees and public agencies to recognize, record, and report has had a positive impact in the communities where CSX operates. Additionally, his leadership has contributed to public awareness of the signs of human trafficking and proper reporting. Asked what advice he would share with a new railroader, Christopher said the following: opportunity comes in many forms. Find opportunity in your failures and create opportunity by serving in your community. Congratulations, Christopher Bennett.
Thank you. Well, first, I want to say thank you to Progressive Railroading for this opportunity, as well as the CSXD team. Specifically, Deanna Sorfleet, who provided the nomination, Nathan Goldman, Sean Duras, and John Walsh. Opportunity is, again, it comes in many forms, and I have been fortunate enough to have had people invest in me throughout my career. And I think it's important that as we grow older and as we kind of establish ourselves, that we do the same for others. Absolutely want to say thank you to my family. They are the ones that still get woken up in the middle of the night, depending on what happens. And they are very, we're all appreciative of the opportunities that we have as a family from CSX. And definitely my team. We're a lean team, as most of us work in lean teams now, but nothing would be possible without my team. So first and foremost, all the thanks to them. And I want to extend that congratulations to the rest of the rising stars on this on this panel. It was nice to read everyone's story and just to hear the backgrounds from all of us and the motivators, and it's just another point that shows how fortunate we all are. So again, thank you and appreciate it.
Thanks, Christopher, and again, congratulations. Next, we recognize rising star Mohit Bhatt, Vice President of Innovation, Platforms, and Data at CN. He leads a team of more than 220 IT professionals to modernize IT at CN and create a technology strategy that drives agility and long-term growth. After college, he went to work as a technology consultant at a mobile startup, then at a consulting firm as technology lead and partner. In 2018, he joined CN as AVP Technology Strategy, Enterprise Architecture, Research and Development prior to moving up to his current role. He says he's always had a strong interest in logistics and in particular, the complexity of the railroad supply chain. When he had the opportunity to join CN, he felt it was the perfect fit. Mohit has been instrumental in moving the needle on CN's modernization strategy, says Leslie Ann Lewis, a CN colleague who nominated him for the Rising Star Award. His goal, she says, is to become a champion of innovation to solve the industry's key challenges and to foster the digitalization and automation of the railroad with new technologies and processes. Congratulations, Mohit.
Thank you, Pat, for having me today. First, I want to say thank you to CN team for giving me this opportunity. Although this is an individual recognition, it truly is a testament to the people I work with daily, such as my peers, colleagues, and of course, the dedicated team I have by my side. I would like to give a special word of thanks and gratitude to all of them that have made this possible. Thank you again, Progressive Railroading, for this prestigious honor and recognition. I'm truly humbled and appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit, and congratulations. The next rising star we recognize today is Erica Brunke. In her role as Vice President of Training Services at RailPros, Erica oversees the safety department and required safety training of employees. She also leads the team that provides and develops safety training solutions for railroad employees, contractors, and industrial employees that service railroads. Before joining RailPros in 2018, Erica began her railroad career as a train master for BNSF, where she eventually moved to the Class 1's headquarters in Fort Worth to develop and implement a behavior-based safety program known as Approaching Others. According to RailPros colleague Rick Bellew, who nominated Erica for a Rising Stars Award, her work at RailPros has helped shift the entire mindset of employees who now view safety as part of their lifestyle and not just something that they have to do for work. Erica says it wasn't until she got into the business that she discovered her family history includes some railroaders, and she feels lucky to have found her way into railroading as a career. Congratulations to Erica Brunke.
Thank you very much, Julie. And thank you to everyone at Progressive Railroading again for this honor. And I suppose for believing in the work that I do to be a part of this wonderful rank and crew here. Again, congratulations to everybody on this call. I will say a lot of congratulations, or excuse me, a lot of thanks goes to my days back with BNSF of really becoming aware of what railroading truly was, not just one piece of it, but the whole. And a lot of really great people there that showed me what it meant to actually be a railroader, operating, leading the very important people there, learning what it meant to actually be a true leader. Folks for showing me what safety actually was beyond the world of railroading, and for a very key group of people in the learning and development team there at BNSF that really unlocked my brain for what training really was always intended to be. And RailPros, our fearless leader, Ken Koff, and my boss, as mentioned, Rick Bellew, for believing in me and supporting me in that endeavor. And it's again an honor to be amongst everyone on this call here today, knowing that what I represent, safety and training, is never anybody's first choice or favorite task, but is really behind all of our success. So I encourage all of us to stay curious, stay hungry, always be learning and always be developing. And again, thank you very much for this honor and congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Erica. And again, congratulations. Next up is Rising Star Amanda DeCesare, who is Manager of Public Projects at CSX. After graduating from Michigan Tech in 2007, Amanda joined CSX as a management trainee and completed a 9-month training course in CSX's engineering department in Atlanta. In 2008, she became a construction engineer in Richmond, Virginia, serving as a field manager for railroad construction projects. In 2012, she accepted her current position as project manager of public projects in Cincinnati. Rusty Orban, a CSX colleague who nominated Amanda for this award, had this to say about her. Amanda has facilitated the completion of dozens of public grade crossing safety projects, working with state transportation officials to successfully construct and improve warning devices and close redundant crossings across her territory. Her approach is one of engaging collaboration with outside partners while still adhering to the highest of safety standards. As a result, her positive impact is not just within the company, but extends to the hundreds of communities served by CSX. Congratulations to Amanda.
Thank you. And I just want to give a couple of quick thank yous to Progressive Railroading and Rusty. This award was a great highlight of a otherwise very challenging year, and it really did a lot for my own personal happiness. So I was very excited to receive it. So thank you. I just wanted to say a couple brief thanks to my manager, Tony Bellamy. He is always my supporter in everything that I, come up with in my head, and everyone at CSX who answers my phone calls when we have a new or off the wall project. I have a great team of coworkers that I really appreciate. I also want to thank my team of consultants that helps me manage the projects in my territory. Without them, I would not be able to do pretty much anything. So I really appreciate that. And then finally, I want to thank my family. Over the last year, they have gotten more of that look where you're on the phone call and the kids are at the door and you're making this don't talk right now. There's been a lot of that over the last year. So I really appreciate my family's understanding of when it's time to work and when it's time to be mom. So just thanks again to everybody, and congratulations to everyone as well.
Thank you, Amanda, and congratulations. Next, we recognize Judith Espino Gonzalez, who is Superintendent of International Border Operations at Kansas City Southern de Mexico. Judith joined KCSM in 2006 as a college intern, and after 6 months, she was hired full-time. In her current role, she serves as the railroad's cultural link between the United States and Mexico. She analyzes the Laredo International Bridge to identify improvement opportunities. She coordinates with customs agents on both sides of the border, as well as with operations, transportation, and sales and marketing. In addition, she supervises and assists local managers in the planning and execution of the Transportation Service Plan. Judith says the best career advice she's received boils down to this: we should always be open to learning new things and be humble enough to admit that we do not know it all, even though we may have many years in the industry. Equally important is the ability to adapt to change, she says. As we face new challenges and things evolve around us, we must be able to evolve along with them and give the best performance we can. Congratulations, Judith.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. I want to thank you, KCS, for all the opportunities that have been given me during my career, these 14 years. I also thank them for the nomination. I thank the Progressive Railroading team for this important recognition, and also congratulate the rest of the people that are here this afternoon receiving this important nomination here. Thanks to my teammates of the different departments that have always taught me so much, especially the transportation team. They opened the door for me while I was working with them as a service assigned person, and they helped me learn so much that has been very useful in my current role. I also want to thank my family, my husband, for being with me by my side in this demanding career in the operation. Also want to thank my mother that has always taught me how to put passion into everything we work. And I really appreciate all the guidance she has given me along my life. I look forward to keep developing and keep contributing to this great industry that has welcomed me so great. And once again, congratulations to all Rising Star this afternoon.
Thank you, Judith. And again, congratulations. Now we recognize Rising Star Antonio Frazier, who is General Manager of Transportation at the Rocky Mountain Service Unit at Union Pacific. He's the executive in charge for UP's operating department in Colorado, Idaho, Utah, and Nevada. UP's Beth Whited says Antonio has made a significant impact at UP by playing a pivotal role in the railroad's transition to PSR. That involved leading his team through significant operating changes in 2019 and 2020. Under Antonio's leadership, customers now have more reliable service while UP increases efficiencies across the operating network. Antonio, who began his career as a conductor, decided to enter the business after a friend of a friend told him about the family supporting pay and benefits available on the railroad. But he says he also was intrigued about working for a company that helps keep America running. Asked what advice he would give to a new railroader, Antonio recommends the following: strive to be the best, never settle, and challenge the norm. Unfortunately, Antonio couldn't join us this afternoon, but we extend our heartfelt congratulations.
Next, we are pleased to honor Carl Garrison, who is AVP of Mechanical at Union Pacific. Carl started with UP in 2006 as an operations management trainee after attending a career fair at the University of Illinois and was recruited by the Class 1. In his current role, he is responsible for the safe and efficient maintenance and repair of the railroad's locomotive and car fleets. UP's Beth Whited had this to say about Carl's impact. In Los Angeles, Carl's team worked with domestic and international intermodal shippers to grow intermodal train length on UP's Sunset Corridor by over 50% in the last 24 months. This has allowed for a 15% reduction in crew starts, a 16% increase in gross ton mile per crew hour worked, and a 20% increase in gross ton mile per train. Carl says he believes the biggest challenge facing the rail industry is to achieve growth, not just in volume, but through a greater share of all logistics spending, and at the same time improve productivity and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Congratulations, Carl, on your achievements in railroading. Is Carl with us this afternoon?
No, he's not able to join us today.
Well, we extend our congratulations to Carl.
Next, we'd like to recognize Matt Hemseth, Senior Project Manager for Archer Western Construction. According to his nominator, Matt is a career railroad construction leader with 8 freight, commuter, and light rail transit construction projects on his resume. Over the past 14 years, he has worked on $2.3 billion worth of projects that have positively impacted the railroad industry. Currently, Matt is the Senior Project Manager of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Silver Line project in the North Dallas area. His responsibilities include overall leadership of the project and coordination with third-party stakeholders and city jurisdictions. Asked how he ended up in railroading, Matt says he just fell into it. Right after college, he started working for a construction company where his first assignment was on a light rail project. After that, the rest of his projects have been in the rail industry. When we asked Matt to share the best career advice he's received, he said that advice came from his dad, who taught him that, quote, "My word is the most important thing in business. If you say you're going to do something, do it," end quote. Congratulations, Matt, on all that you've done for the business of rail.
Thank you, Julie. And first, I want to just say thank you to my wife, who in 2007 and went to our first job. We've now been in 7 states in 14 years, so tough on the family. And then to my kids, if you read the rest of the bio, my spare time is driving my kids all around the country. And right now I'm actually sitting in a business center in the Best Western in the middle of Arkansas for a competition for my kids. So rushed here from Dallas this morning just to be able to get on this call today. So I want to say thank you to Progressive Railroading for this honor. And thank you for the Walsh family for putting up with me for the last 5 years and putting me in some pretty challenging positions. But overall, great opportunities, and for my team that I work with, and we get all these projects done for all the class ones that are on this call. Appreciate everything that we are able to do as a contractor for all the railroads out there. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. And again, congratulations. Next, we honor Kimberly Howe, who was logistics manager at Siemens Mobility in Alpharetta, Georgia, where train components are a specialty. Kimberly leads a team of buyers, production planners, warehouse personnel, and manufacturing engineers focused on material movement and flow throughout the supply chain. Her nominator, Elizabeth Cho of Siemens Mobility, said this about Kimberly: "Good managers are the strongest asset for any company. But young, rising leaders like Kimberly are priceless and bring immeasurable value, not only for the company and its customers, but through the broader industry and its direct communities." Kimberly's advice to new railroaders: think big picture. There will always be details that require focus, but think about the purpose of those details. The work is for the railroad industry. We are affecting the way people and goods are moved. Now that is a great job. Congratulations, Kim.
Thank you. I thank Siemens Mobility leadership and Progressive Railroading for this recognition. I am lucky to have a job I enjoy while working in an exciting industry. My husband, parents, and all my family are in my corner on good days and bad, and I appreciate them so much. Also, thank you to my manager, Tim Ferguson, who leads with vision and purpose and works by my side every single day, encouraging me to grow. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Our next rising star to be honored today is Brian Lapp, Senior Vice President and Chief Safety Officer for New Jersey Transit. Currently, Brian leads the New Jersey Transit Office of System Safety, where he oversees the health and safety of rail and bus operations. Jeannie Kwan of New Jersey Transit, who nominated Brian for the Rising Stars Award, says overall employee injury rates have declined by 11% since Brian joined the organization. He implemented the Office of System Safety's first risk-based data and trend analysis software program in order to more effectively allocate department resources to mitigate hazards proactively. Brian also created an independent rail incident investigation team with a focus on deep dives into near-miss incidents that are often indicators of a potential future incident. The biggest challenge that Brian sees for the rail industry, especially for passenger rail, is rebuilding customers' trust so that they return to the railroad in a post-pandemic world. Brian says, as remote work and remote schooling start to taper off, we need to provide our customers a clean, safe, and reliable mode of transportation to get them back to their normal lives. Congratulations, Brian.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate this recognition. Congrats to the other folks here also being recognized for some of the outstanding work in the rail industry and all different departments and companies across the country. I've been very fortunate to work for some great organizations, and more importantly, some great leaders and colleagues along the way. Finding the right people to learn from was a key to having success. I always look forward to engaging with people that fresh in the rail industry, providing them that same level of guidance and leadership that I often received years ago. Most importantly, though, I would never be able to dedicate the amount of time that I do to my work without my wonderful wife, Jennifer, and my 3 children, Gemma, Van, and Cannon, supporting me and understanding that, work days often mean leaving before they wake up and getting home when they're all asleep. And that phone calls at 2, 3 in the morning on any day of the year is part of normal and necessary. So, I truly thank them the most for being my biggest cheerleaders and allowing me the opportunity to, go out and serve the public and attempt to, like I said, provide a a safe and reliable method of transportation for all. So thank you again. I really appreciate this.
Thanks, Brian. And again, congratulations. Next, we honor Joangeli Lind, Senior Manager of Commercial Analytics at Florida East Coast Railway. At FEC, Joangeli is responsible for performing transportation and supply chain market research of industries, regions, and customers. She started at FEC in 2018 as an accounts payable administrator. After 6 months, she was promoted to manager of disbursements, and a year later, she was promoted to senior analytics manager in the Fort Lauderdale office with the rest of the commercial team. She's accountable for developing and managing market-based pricing for intermodal and carload transportation, and for performing commercial analysis such as competitor benchmarking, project evaluations, budgeting, and forecasting. Her FEC colleague, Luis Hernandez, says she has the ability to see strategically how current and future customers fit into FEC's overall plan, both in the short and long term. That makes her very, very valuable to the company. JoJo brings passion and energy to her role, always gladly willing to help anyone that asks, says Luis. A fun fact about Joangeli: in college, she was a track and field athlete and a conference champion in the javelin and discus. Congratulations, Joangeli.
Thank you. Thank you again for this great honor and opportunity. I would like to thank my family and most importantly, my mother, who I kind of followed her footsteps into the railroad industry. Also, I would like to thank the leadership team here at FEC, Luis Hernandez and Fernanda Espinosa, who have been pivotal to my success. Thanks to them, I've learned so much in regards to market and the growth, and we've been able to do a lot of great things together. Again, thank you, Progressive Railroading, for this opportunity, and congratulations to all you.
Thank you, Joangeli, and congratulations. Up next is Rising Star Laura Mason, EVP of Major Program Delivery at Amtrak. An editor's note here. Laura was EVP of Capital Delivery at the Washington Metropolitan Area Transportation Authority earlier this year when she was nominated for and named a Rising Star Award winner. In May, Amtrak announced it hired Laura to be EVP of Major Program Delivery. See, our rising stars are really rising. At Amtrak, Laura leads the railroad strategy in developing and delivering its biggest and most complex projects. She entered the rail industry in 2016 when she joined WMATA to run Safe Track, a year-long emergency track rehabilitation program. Laura says it seemed like the perfect opportunity for her to bring her construction and scheduling experience to solve a real and urgent problem for her hometown. She believes the rail industry's biggest challenge is recruiting the next workforce. She says, looking out over the next 20 years, we have an incredible amount of work to do to modernize, rehabilitate, and expand our infrastructure and services. We will need to recruit more people from school and from other industries and open our minds up to bringing in people at all levels who don't have rail experience, but can bring valuable insights. Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Progressive Railroading, for this award, and particularly to Corey Cuff and the WMATA team for nominating me. I want to start first by thanking my family and my friends, especially my best friend, Louise Oliver, who've always supported me and encouraged me to be bold and to take on problems others might shy away from or consider impossible. My passion has always been mega project delivery, particularly for the public sector, to figure out how to do big things better. And for that, I want to take a moment to thank my colleagues at Bechtel, where I spent the first 12 years of my career, particularly Tom Hash, Craig Albert, Cliff Mumm, Ailey McAdam, and Bill Henry, who really taught me what it means to build a railroad. I also want to take time to thank WMATA, the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, for allowing me in as a builder and turning me into a railroader. I particularly want to thank Paul Wiedefeld and Andy Off Joe Leader, Lynn Bowersox, Lisa Woodruff, Pat Lavin, and Mike Brown. They saw in me an opportunity to bring in new skills and new insights, and yet they were tireless in their efforts to share with me their knowledge and expertise of years in the railroading industry. I am grateful to them, to all of these people, and to so many more that I can't name for helping me become who I am today and leading me to this position at Amtrak. I am so excited for the future of our industry, for the people here on this call receiving this award, and for what our presence means to the future of rail. I'm excited to help build our infrastructure, but also together with all of you, help revitalize our industry and bring ever more people into railroading. Thank you again very much for this award.
Thanks, Laura, and again, congratulations. Now we'll recognize Charlie Monteverde, VP of Strategy Planning at Genesee Valley Transportation Company. American Shortline and Regional Railroad Association President Chuck Baker, who nominated Charlie for the Rising Stars Award, says this about him. He is a fearless operative, a strategic planner, and has the ability to see around corners and perceive what's next. In his capacity on both ASLRRA's legislative policy and environmental committees, he strives to keep us on the right side of history, an important viewpoint that we share in these changing and challenging times for our industry and the nation we serve. Charlie describes his current role at GVT as a kind of Swiss Army knife position related to the company's vision as one generation transitions out and the next wave of professionals comes in. A second generation railroader, his advice to new railroaders is that they ask questions, be a plucky nuisance, and soak up as much about the business as they can. In his spare time, Charlie serves on the board of the Chicago Writers Association and is eternally battling with composing the great American novel. Good luck with the novel, Charlie, and congratulations to you on your work in rail.
Thank you. I don't know who Chuck was describing, but that person sounds like an awfully motivated deal-making kind of person. So I can hope to live to that. Thank you, Pat and Julie and Progressive Railroading for this as well. This is a huge honor. And I mean, it's like outside of getting Railroad of the Year, you know, down the line, I can't imagine what other honors industry-wide, you know, could compare to this. So thank you. It has been a long stretch of track, if you will, to get here, sometimes tangent, more often curvy. But I've been given every opportunity to succeed. And even if I'm not always paying heed to that good fortune the way I should, it's always there. It always gnaws at me. And I guess per Chuck's words, or my own words, keep me plucky. We're all of us here, this whole group, we're fortunate to have a tangible, tactile element at the heart of what we do. We pay our mortgage via this very real thing. And I can recall anytime when I was at Amtrak in Chicago, anytime the emails were too much or the, let's say, occasional headaches of the railroad industry were becoming too much, I could take the elevator down three stairs, three floors, and see the fleet coming in and out, moving America in and out of Union Station, and just get that refresher that that's right. There's a very real thing to this and people are depending on us. So I'm very fortunate to be a part of this. Thank yous. My Amtrak folks, Brian Gallagher, Joe McHugh, Ray Lang, Derek James, and all my former colleagues there. Thank you so much. Chuck Baker, my sponsor and descriptor there. Thank you, Chuck, and the Shortline Association team for everything you guys do. Everybody should join their state railroad associations, whatever state you're in, join your state and national railroad associations. Our GVT folks, where I am now, we have an average employee tenure of 13 years across 70 employees here. And it says something about the company. It says something about those people that work for us. And I'm in air conditioning right now, and I'll be in heat in the winter. And they don't have that opportunity, but they make it go. So thank you to those folks. My parents and my brothers, my parents who gifted me with both competitive and balance for a competitive balance. My lovely wife, Leanne, for whom I am always trying to be a better man. Matilda, she's our 2-year-old golden retriever. I don't think she's watching right now though, but she's the best. And just lastly, some folks no longer with us, Charles J. Chuck Reed Miller, one of the founders of our company, and amazing leader and influence before he passed. The Honorable Joseph H. Boardman, from our upstate mafia days at Amtrak when all the New York kids were running the company. Rest in peace, both of them. And lastly, my beloved godmother and aunt, Diane Monteverdi, who we lost this year. Auntie D always echoed the words of my grandparents, which was hitch your wagon to a star. And it was loose and it was wide and it was aspirational and it can mean whatever you want it to mean. But it kind of became a family motto from the immigrant bootstraps era right to today. And even though those last folks are, among the stars now, I just hope if they can see us down here, that I'm trying to do right by the opportunities and fortune that have been presented to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, and congratulations again. Our next Rising Star honoree is Preston Nelson, VP of Operations for Watco. Preston began his career as a conductor for Rail America at the Toledo, Peoria, and Western Railway. 18 months later, he became an assistant train master and obtained locomotive engineer certification, which resulted in a promotion to train master. 2.5 years later, he accepted a GM position in Minnesota after an acquisition by Genesee in Wyoming. For 3 years, Preston served as GM for 6 different railroads in Illinois, Indiana, Arizona, Georgia, and Alabama. In 2015, he joined Watco as Superintendent of Operations in Wisconsin, then spent over 3 years as GM of the Wisconsin and Southern Railroad. He was named to his current role earlier this year. Watco's Nick Coombs, who nominated Preston for the Rising Stars Award, says this about him. Anyone you talk to at Watco would agree that since Preston arrived at our company, he has continued to exhibit strong leadership and a drive for enhancing safety and operations. To establish expectations and create a strong team, Preston develops relationships to understand individuals and provide what they need to succeed. His approach is one of clear expectations and follow-through, along with honest feedback. Congratulations to Preston Nelson.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Progressive Railroading, for hosting this event. I'm truly honored. I'd like to take a moment and thank my family for their incredible support and sacrifice over the years. I simply can't thank them enough. I'd like to thank Watco for the recognition and nomination. Their trust and support is second to none. I'd like to thank the men and women whom comprise my team. Their dedication and relentless efforts, specifically in safety and to servicing our customers, is one of the largest contributing factors to why I have this opportunity today. I'd like to thank my mentor, Todd Bjornstad, for not only believing in me, but for unselfishly investing a tremendous amount of time in my career over the years. And finally, I'd like to congratulate each of the other Rising Stars on their achievements and contributions to the industry. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Preston, and congratulations. Up next is Rising Star Andrea Neithold, Director of U.S. Government Affairs at CN. In her role, Andrea engages with federal lawmakers and their staff on policy matters affecting the railroad industry. She communicates regularly with economic and safety regulators, federal administration officials, and transportation trade associations. Andrea also chairs CN's Women's Employee Resource Group, which is dedicated to supporting, attracting, and promoting female employees. The youngest member of the group is her son, Rory, who, at 1 month old, attended the inaugural speaker event on March 8th, International Women's Day. CN's Leslie Ann Lewis, who nominated Andrea for the Rising Stars Award, had this to say about her. During the negotiations of the United States-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement, Andrea worked tirelessly on Capitol Hill to have freight railroad priorities written into the agreement, voted upon, and signed trilaterally. Andrea's passion as a leader extends to ensuring women in the industry have environments where they can feel supported and talk about their accomplishments and ambitions. Congratulations, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Pat and Julie and Progressive Railroading. I am both humbled and honored to be here today amongst such talent. And congratulations to my fellow CNer, Moet Bot, for being here as well. You know, I'd like to start by thanking my husband. He's been my #1 fan throughout my career, and especially throughout this past year where, you know, we work on logistics in our you know, day-to-day job, but with 3 kids at home, a new baby, a virtual kindergartner, and a railroad to run, we had a lot going on. So thank you to him. Thank you to our 3 sons who don't let me pass by a moving train without screaming train. There's a lot of CSX movements in Washington, D.C. So I always know when they're happening when we're out in the community. I'd also like to thank my nominator, Leslie Ann Lewis and Lisa Belanger at CN. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you to my women's ERG co-chairs, Martita Mullen and Lawrence Nugent. You've been great supporters over the past 6 months. Thank you so much. And then I can't forget the wonderful public affairs, government affairs team, our small but mighty team in Washington, D.C. Thank you to David Woodruff, my direct supervisor who hired me at CN. Thank you so much. Larry Lloyd, Stacey Lyons, and our highly esteemed legal counsel, Kathy Gainey, who always lends an ear. Thank you, Kathy. And really, once again, just so humbled to be here. And thank you so much for this great honor.
Well, thank you, Andrea, and again, congratulations. Our next honoree this afternoon is Nicole Ockrock, who is Associate Engineer for the Delaware River Port Authority, which owns and operates the 14-mile Patco line between Philadelphia and New Jersey. Nicole manages design and construction contracts for DRPA and Patco, as well as DRPA's asset management program and Patco's biennial inspection. Recent projects that she's worked on include a major solar installation with interconnection to the Patco transmission line. In addition to juggling her regular duties, she is transitioning to a project manager role for a new 18-mile light rail system that is in the preliminary design phase. DRPA's Mike Williams, who nominated Nicole for the Rising Stars, wrote this about her. Nicole's passion for environmental stewardship is a major driving force of sustainability at the Port Authority Transit Corporation. She is committed to enhancing our transportation assets operations in a manner that is environmentally sound, sustainable, and that creates value for the public we serve. Nicole is a natural leader and a collaborative team player in the engineering department. She is highly dependable and is always looking to share knowledge across the department. Congratulations to you, Nicole.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to the DRPA Patco team who nominated me for this award today. As many of you know, rail projects require a significant amount of support and coordination in order to be successful, and I'm grateful to work with such an encouraging and hardworking team, especially a team that believes in my unique project ideas. Special thanks to the DRPA Chief Engineer, Mike Venuto, my manager, Mike Rakowski, our CEO, John Hansen, Patco General Manager, John Rink, our Director of Strategic Initiatives, Christina Maroney, our Manager of Corporate Communications, Mike Williams, my engineering colleagues, and the PATCO personnel who keep our train line moving. Last but not least, thank you to my husband, my family, and friends who have always supported me and my work, and my pandemic coworker, my dog Louie. It's been really wonderful this past year. So thank you again to Progressive Railroading for this opportunity, and to everyone at the event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, and again, congratulations. Next, we honor Marcus Parrott, General Director of Signal Engineering at BNSF Railway. Marcus supports signal design, estimating, research, and development for BNSF. His work supports over 32,000 route miles and spans everything from typical wayside design and safety check to strategic technology deployments. Marcus started his career at GE Healthcare, and after a few years there, decided to pursue a new career. He thought about teaching math and science, but a friend who worked for BNSF encouraged him to apply for an opening at the company. 11 years later, I can still say it was a great choice, Marcus says. BNSF colleague Allison Cooper, who nominated Marcus for the Rising Stars Award, had this to say about him. Marcus drives results through the teams he leads by communicating a compelling vision and purpose. His leadership, strategic thinking, planning, and drive have helped him successfully lead diverse teams with measurable results. His advice to young railroaders is to commit to learning something new every day and never underestimate their impact. Know that railroading is a challenging calling, he says, but equally rewarding. Congratulations, Marcus.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you to Progressive Railroading and to those that nominated me at BNSF. It is certainly an honor to be recognized, and I am grateful for the support that I've had from my colleagues and from my family over the course of my career, especially my wife, Leslie, who has supported me through it all. And I really just very much appreciate the opportunity to share in this experience alongside all the other honorees today. And to those who have joined from across the railroad community, I would say that we work in a very exciting and vital industry. And I really look forward to the things that we're going to do together. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. And again, congratulations. Up next, we honor Ashley Reed, Assistant Superintendent of the Southern Alberta Territory for Canadian Pacific. Ashley followed her father into railroading and began her career at age 18 as a conductor with CP. She joined the Locomotive Engineer Training Program in 2005, trained as a train master in 2014, and became a road foreman rules instructor. She was promoted to Assistant Superintendent of the Mountain Division in 2019, and in the fall of 2020, moved to her current position. Ashley says the best career advice that she's received is that no matter how long you work in the rail industry, there is always something new to learn. Railroading is a unique environment that often takes years of experience to truly understand how to be effective, she says. Quote, I find the biggest challenge is how to proactively bring people on board and expose them to as much of the vast experience and different facets of the railway before the wisdom departs, she says. Ashley's nominator for the Rising Stars Award says that her calm, direct leadership style and ability to step into issues confidently has allowed her to earn the respect of employees and managers. Congratulations, Ashley.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you to Progressive Railroading for this recognition. It's an honor to share it with such a talented group of people. I want to thank Amanda Cobb and CP's executive team for the nomination. I'm extremely thankful and proud to have the opportunity to work for such a great company and with such a strong leadership team that I have. They're always pushing me out of my comfort zone and into new opportunities. I want to thank the team that I work with for everything that they've taught me and everything that they do for me. I want to thank my dad for everything that he's taught me over the years. I've followed into his footsteps into the railroad industry, so I've learned a lot from him. And I also want to thank my family for supporting me and putting up with all the long and crazy hours and unpredictable schedule. So thank you.
Thanks, Ashley, and again, congratulations. Now we recognize Kristen Scully, who is Director of Revenue and Cost Analysis at Canadian Pacific. Kristen is responsible for oversight of revenue accounting and reporting, costing and profitability, and revenue planning. She joined CP in 2012 and has held a variety of positions prior to serving in her existing role. When Hunter Harrison joined CP as CEO, Kristen says she knew she had to be part of the exciting changes that ultimately formed the new CP. CP colleague Amanda Cobb says Kristen has built strong relationships and credibility throughout the company through her integrity and commitment. Says Cobb, leaders throughout the sales and marketing organization rely on Kristen because they know she will do what she says she will do, and her team will consistently deliver high quality products and analysis, enabling sustainable, profitable growth. Kristen believes climate change is the biggest challenge the railroad industry must address. But that challenge also presents an opportunity for railroads to build on an already environmentally superior mode of transportation by incorporating environmental, social, and government strategies. Congratulations, Kristen.
Thank you, Pat. I'm honored that Canadian Pacific nominated me and that Progressive Railroading selected me as a rising star. I'm thankful for the leaders at CP as they are committed to developing people and to helping me grow over the course of my career to date. I consider myself fortunate to be part of CP and this iconic industry, and I'm enthusiastic for what the future holds. Finally, I'd like to thank Progressive Railroading for making this event possible and congratulate all of the other award winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, and congratulations again. Our next rising star is Nick Troutman, Director of Mechanical, Fleet, and Environmental at Pioneer Lines. Nick joined the railroad right out of high school, and today he's tasked with inspecting and assessing each locomotive, identifying concerns, and fixing to ensure locomotives operate safely and efficiently. He also leads environmental mitigation efforts, including finding ways to reduce emissions and be more environmentally friendly. Nick also has an artistic streak and designed some of Pioneer's swag. He also designed the uniforms for the slow pitch softball team he plays for, the Pioneer Railroaders. Jennifer Goss of Pioneer Lines, who nominated Nick for the Rising Stars Award, had this to say about him. Even when people ask the seemingly impossible from Nick, he works to find a solution. There are countless people, from our CEO to our engineers, who are indebted to Nick for his tenacity, work ethic, and dedication. Nick has unquestionably made a positive impact in our operations and, more importantly, reflects positively on what it means to be a railroader. Congratulations to you, Nick.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you to Progressive Railroading. It's an honor to have been selected to receive this award. I'm humbled by being recognized among so many talented and smart people. Thank you so much. I have been in our industry for a long time, and I have spent countless hours working to expand my knowledge and expertise in our industry. It means so much to me that the work that I am passionate about also resonates with others. I hope that this recognition of my work can serve as an inspiration to others in the field. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to work with incredible men and women, and I truly believe my success is their success. Here at Pioneer Lines, we have been focused on being one team that is rooted in the same philosophy to engage and empower people, be relevant to customers, and create business advantages. I am deeply appreciative of our leadership team, in particular, Alex Uros, Ross Grantham, and Jen Goss, for all they have done, not only to help me succeed, but help Pioneer succeed as a team, especially through the extra obstacles that we have come along with COVID-19. I would like to thank my Pioneer family. So many of you have inspired and helped me throughout my career. Brent Lofton, Billy Chitwood, and Bryce Travis, thank you. Thank you for your patience, for dealing with me and all the issues that come along the way with it. We spent lots of time, lots of hours discussing multiple issues and problems with your locomotives. In my opinion, there's nothing stronger than a one-team approach, and I feel like I'm on the best team. Go Pioneer. Last but not least, I'd like to give thanks to my family. My mom for raising me to be the man I am today, and thank you to my beautiful wife, Shayla, and our 4 children for being so giving with your time, love, and advice. I wouldn't be where I am without you. I am humbled and appreciative of this award. Thank you, Pioneer, and thank you, Progressive Railroading, for recognizing railroaders like me.
Thank you, Nick. And again, congratulations. Next, we recognize Carmen Wallace Givens, Signal Project Engineer for Kansas City Southern. Carmen began her career in the telecom industry. When she decided to find a new opportunity outside telecom, she looked for an industry that would match her skill set while offering both variety and stability. She found that in railroading and joined KCS in 2014. She managed state-grade crossing surface projects for 4 years before moving into her current role in 2018. As Signal Project Engineer, she's responsible for managing and coordinating all phases of signal engineering and construction for capital, capacity, and industry projects. Kansas City Southern EVP Jeffrey Songer, who nominated Carmen for the Rising Stars Award, says she is committed to diversity and inclusion and is helping KCS recruit more women into operations. Her advice to new railroaders: find a mentor. Having someone in your life who has blazed the trail before you and who is willing to share that wisdom can be very valuable, she says. By the way, in her spare time, Carmen is a content creator on YouTube, where she launched her own beauty tips channel that now has over 22,000 subscribers and nearly 3 million views. Unfortunately, Carmen is unable to attend today's celebration, but she asked us to read the following statement. I'd like to express my sincerest thanks and gratitude to Progressive Railroading for this award. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to be one of this year's recipients. I also owe much thanks to KCS for creating a space for me to grow both personally and professionally. I hope to continue to make a positive impact in my community and the rail industry. Carmen, thank you and congratulations.
Thanks to Carmen. And again, we're sorry she couldn't be with us today, but congratulations to her. And finally, we recognize Sean Winkler, Director at Ty Ginsberg and Associates, where he helps clients with railroad and general infrastructure issues before the federal government. Sean serves as the primary client manager of the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission and the San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority, which jointly manage the ACE commuter rail service and Amtrak state-supported route, the San Joaquin in California. He also works with county and municipal governments, Class 1s, and other commuter rail agencies. Previously, Sean worked in advocacy and membership engagement at REMSA. Although he says he got into the rail industry by pure luck, rail has always been an important part of his life. His grandfather worked on high-speed trains in Japan, and Sean relied on the Metra commuter railroad to get him to his high school in the Chicago area. Matt Ginsberg, who nominated Sean for the Rising Stars Award, describes his passion for the railroad industry. He built the REMSA grassroots program from the ground up, and now, in his current position, he lobbies on behalf of passenger and freight railroads in Washington, D.C. In particular, Sean has infused his energy and passion into working closely with passenger rail agency leaders in California to help reform the state-supported routes for the growing rail systems out west. Congratulations, Sean.
Thanks, Julie, Kirk, Pat, and the rest of the Progressive Railroading team. I also have to give a shout out to the sales team, who I don't see here today, but I pass along my hello. I wanted to thank the TGA family for giving me a chance to continue to advocate for passenger systems, freight systems, and of course, mom and pop small business rail suppliers across the United States, particularly Matt Ginsberg for the nomination, Jason Ty, Gus Maples, and some of our amazing clients, Stacy Mortensen at ACE, Janice Thomas at Metra, and of course, the CN Government Affairs team, who I'm lucky to share the stage here with today. Through REMSA, I was lucky to have so many mentors and people looking out for me as we work together to promote the rail supply industry. By no means is this an order, but I did want to thank Trent Marshall, Bruce Wise, Al Reynolds, Al Goff, John Murray, Brad Williams, Jay Gowan, Ursula Susi, and I would like to join Chase in remembering Nate Henderson, who was a tremendous leader in the short line and rail supply community. And of course, last but not least, I'd like to thank my family and my lovely wife, Lindsay, at home. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. And again, our heartfelt congratulations. And that wraps it up for this year's Rising Stars. And now back to you, Kirk.
Thank you, Julie. And again, congratulations to all of today's honorees. You are truly an impressive group of individuals who are making a real impact on the industry. Just a reminder to everybody, you can read all the profiles of the honorees right now on progressiverailroading.com, and they will also be featured in the September issue of Progressive Railroading magazine. One last time, a very sincere thank you to all of our sponsors, our platinum sponsor, Siemens Mobility, our gold sponsors, BNSF Railway, CN, CSX, Pioneer Lines, Rail Pros, Union Pacific, and Watco. Our silver sponsors, Florida East Coast Railway, Genesee Valley Transportation, New Orleans Public Belt Railroad, and our bronze sponsors, Archer Western Construction, Edna Rice Executive Recruiters, New Jersey Transit, RJ Corman Railroad Group, and Ty Ginsberg and Associates. I'd also like to thank our events and education team, headed by Amy Brown, for developing and producing this fantastic event, as well as Pat and Julie for expertly walking us through today's winners and bios. And lastly, thanks to all of you, the friends, the family, the co-workers for being here today to support your Rising Star. Please remember, submissions for our 2022 Rising Stars program will open at the end of this year, so start thinking about who you'd like to see as an award winner next year. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I hope you all have a great and safe rest of the week. Thank you.